Yeah.
So, James, you just came back from a marvelous journey. I saw a little bit about it. Tell us a little bit about what you were up to.
Yeah, I was able to go back to my hometown of Thessaloniki, which is in North Greece, and I went with my son, my 9-year-old son, and we got to both go to Mount Athos for the first time and spent the night there at a monastery called Xenofondos, and it was really wonderful. It was just a beautiful experience, and we spent a couple days kind of in the area there. First time really experiencing the Holy Mountain, and it's interesting. My family's from that area. I used to go to Greece as a child every year, every other year in the summer, and I never knew that it was there. It just didn't never occur to me until the last 5 6 years. I came back into the church, and I'm like, wow, the Holy Mountain is an hour and a half from my home. So it was really it was surreal. It was wonderful. We both got to commune there. And it was beautiful. Wish I could spend more time there.
And what was it like? What was your experience on the mountain? Anything happen or interesting to note, or observations, feelings, experiences?
Yeah, it's just really peaceful. And it's like being transported, 1,000 years back in time. Really it's just simple, and just beautiful and just immersed in beauty. And then went to some of the services there. The services are 4 in the morning and they last for a few hours. Got to speak to a couple of monks. There's this ship, this ferry that takes you back and forth, and this monk took a liking to my son Carter and was just telling him, just conversing with him, and they were talking for a while. He knew English. Was telling him, a calm sea doesn't make a strong sailor, so you got to be prepared for difficult seas. Don't expect calm waters, and have Christ in your heart. That's the most important thing. Have everything is have Christ in your heart. And it was wonderful, man.
He'll
Lots
probably
of
remember that when
experiences.
he's an old man, won't he? He'll remember
Yeah,
going on a sea
absolutely.
with his dad, with the monk telling him to prepare for tough storms, right? That's pretty cool what you guys did
Yeah.
there.
And there was another monk that was older, with a little bit of of crazy in his eye, and he was walking, and he had a big sack where he was selling crosses and stuff that they make in the monastery. And the other monk, he's like, that's a very kind of spiritual father, that's a high level father, and he had this foolish look in his eye, right? And he brought him over there, and he's like, he put his hand out, and I went to kiss it, and he pulled it back. And then he's like, because this monk was from Bulgaria, he didn't know Greek really that well. So he's like, ask this monk, ask this father about some words for this time, some words of encouragement for the time that we're living in. And I kind of pieced it together. And he's like, to evangelion, and just says, read scripture. It's all in there. But it's interesting. This kind of seemingly old and nondescript monk was one of the kind of high fathers, and just going around. It was wild.
So he was kind of like a Yoda figure, you know?
Yeah, something like that. Just like he had this bright and like almost surprised look in his eyes, but he would, you know what I'm saying? Like this
Yeah.
open, like gleaming look in his eyes. And you wouldn't think that he's one of the kind of the elder fathers. There's 28 monasteries on the Holy Mountain, and each monasteries, there's a Bulgarian Orthodox monastery, there's a Russian Orthodox monastery, there's, so the different kind of flavors of Orthodoxy from around the globe, they have kind of monasteries there, which wasn't too aware of that. And then of course you have Greek monasteries and whatnot. So it was, and this ferry takes, only men are allowed on Mount Athos, which is an interesting thing. Try to explain to people that kind of aren't really aware, that what kind of bigotry place is this, and the reason behind it is, that I kind of put it together. Mount Athos is considered the Theotokos, is considered the mother of God, right? So I'm thinking that, these monks are just like you were married to your wife, you don't entertain other women, right? These monks are married to the mountain, which is the mother of God, right? So this idea of you're married to one woman, that's kind of how I thought of it. But there's other reasons, for temptations and things of that nature. But that doesn't make too much sense, because other monasteries, that I've been to or whatnot, they're, both men and women are allowed. This is the only one that I've heard of that, at least I'm aware of, where it's just no women allowed.
And Shane, you're a traveler too. Did you